The college football experience, San Jose State Spartans 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, brought to you by Patreon. Yes, our very own Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contest, including our NFL win totals contest with $1,000 in prizes, essentially, to the winner. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Once again, that's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Parlay Play. Yes, Parlay Play is a lead pipe lock for parlaying player props. Go to parlayplay.io. Use the promo code SGP for 100% deposit bonus. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome. Welcome to the college football experience. San Jose State Spartans 2023 season preview episode. I'm excited to talk Sparty, as I think, Brent Brennan has done a great job with this program, getting it up off the ground, and I think there's a lot of potential here. We're going to talk all about it, but before we do that, you're probably wondering, hey, who is yelling at you here? Well, look, my name is Colby Swinging Dead Tomatoes Dead, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Yes, talking Sparty. I mean, look, this is a program that I think, could really be a sleeping giant here. NIL opportunities. I know Brent Brennan. I was at Mountain West Media Day saying they don't have any NIL opportunities. There's thriving business everywhere around there. They just got to find those avenues. I'm excited to talk about it. I mean, quarterback. I mean, there's been some look, Jack Elway, John Elway's dad used to coach here. I mean, this is a team. This is a program. I think of, some of the greats that have been here. Jeff Garcia, Steve DeBerg, I remember, Mervin Fernandez. How about that pull? Dwight Lowry, cornerback for the Jets. And, Gil Bird. Look, it's been a good program, and you could argue that, let's talk historically here, because they've been playing football at San Jose State since 1892. Shout out to that. And I really hope that they continue to get this thing going. They had an undefeated season in 1932, which, once again, please hit us up. We will deem you national champions there. You should lean into that. They had an 11-1 season in 38. I'd have to dive into 38 and see who the national championship winner is, but arguably maybe a national championship there. 1939, 13-0 season. Boom, national champions. They had another one-loss season in 40. Another one-loss season in 46. So you have to dive in there. And then had some great years under Jack Elway. Had some great years under Lynn Stiles and Claude Gilbert. But recently, let's talk about it recently, because Mike McIntyre had an 11-win season in 2012. Then after that, couple bowl-eligible seasons, and then things kind of fell apart. Brent Brennan comes in 2-11 in year one, 1-11 in year two, 5-7 in year three, then 7-1 during the COVID year. They win the Mountain West. Then in 2021, a little setback, 5-7, lost a lot of close games. And then last season, 7-4. Now they did, I think they went 7-5 actually. They lost the Potato Bowl, but good bounce back season. Like I said, I got a chance to talk to Brent Brennan at Mountain West Media Day. I really like him. I think he seems like a damn good football coach, and obviously he's a likable person. I want to root for this team. I think he thinks his team can contend this year in the Mountain West, and I think it's a very good hire. I'll put it like this: San Jose State's in a very good place as long as he is the head football coach, I think. So, going to be interesting to see what he can do this year. At Mountain West Media Day was Chevan Cordeiro as well, his starting quarterback. We're going to talk a lot about him because I believe he was voted while I was there first team Mountain West quarterback. So you got him returning, former Hawaii Rainbow Warrior. So there's that. And I think this could really be a nice place. There's a lot of talent, especially now that you have USC, UCLA heading off to the Big Ten. And then you have Stanford and Cal. Who knows where they end up? I mean, maybe they end up in the Mountain West playing San Jose State. Who knows? But either way, I think San Jose State, Fresno State, San Diego State are in a good spot moving forward. So anyway, let's continue on this journey. We're going to talk, by the way, I got Michael Barker stopping by later to talk about his experiences to San Jose, California, catching Spartan football games there. But at Spartan Stadium, where they call it something else now, but we call it Spartan Stadium. But look, before we get all that, look, we're going to talk offense, defense, special teams, and how that will look going into the 2023 season. We'll also talk about the transfer portal. Obviously, it's such a huge factor today in college football, with the exception to the service academies in Clemson. We're going to dive into those things, and we'll also go game by game on the schedule. Dundee's rocking solo today, but not a problem. Look, sometimes you got to do it. Dog days of summer. I love talking college football, all these teams. Make sure you check out, by the way, all 133 team previews. We go every single team in college football has a solo podcast in the FBS. So subscribe, tell a friend. Hopefully you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. Also, remember, I host the College Basketball Experience. Tim Miles doing a great job with the San Jose Spartans, San Jose State Spartans, a basketball program. The Mountain West in general, loaded when it comes to college basketball and college football. Love what this conference has moving forward. And so, all right, look, we're going to talk all that good stuff. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. And the College Baseball Experience. I know San Jose State plays some solid baseball. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. But look, I want to tell you that this particular episode, the San Jose State Spartans 2023 season preview episode, is brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Yes, sign up today for the Patreon to get access to exclusive contests, including the NFL Win Totals contest with $1,000 in first place prizes, essentially up for grabs. Besides the season-long contest, we're also going to have some weekly contests just for the patrons, plus a monthly SGP Stories podcast. I mean, that'll be completely ad-free, full of behind-the-scenes stories from SGPN. Obviously, we have some great stories, that we haven't necessarily told on air. Some Lenny Dykstra stories that might be entertaining. Mike Leach was a good friend of ours. Rest in peace to Coach Leach. Might have to break out some of those stories, so get signed up. There's even a Discord channel just for our patrons. Only you can prevent corporate gambling, so do your part and sign up today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience. San Jose State Spartans 2023 season preview episode, and you look back at a season ago, and I'm going to touch on the transfer portal a second, give me a second for the portal. I just want to key in on, a couple of years ago, Brent Brennan won at Arkansas, went to SEC country and won in Fayetteville. Fantastic win for the San Jose State Spartan program. It almost happened again last year, week 2, as they lost by just one score at Auburn on September 10th. But out the gates, they started, a little shaky. That Portland State game was a lot closer than people realized. 21-17 win for San Jose State. Then week 2 was the Auburn game, lost by 1 score. They then played Western Michigan, just destroyed them 34-6 in San Jose. Went up to Wyoming, put it on Craig Bowl and the Cowboys 33-16. Then smacked UNLV 40-7, and they're off to a 4-1 start, almost 5-0. Then they went to Fresno, California, and this was a good game. I remember watching this one. They lost by 1 score to the eventual Mountain West champions, Jeff Tedford and the Fresno State Bulldogs. Lost 17-10 in a good one there. And then they had a game canceled. The New Mexico State game was canceled with some issues regarding stuff with the health of there was just a terrible incident happened. But so that game gets canceled. Then they beat Nevada only by 7. Obviously, Nevada wasn't great. Ken Wilson's first year, but got it done. Also, double-digit win against Colorado State and Jay Norvell. And then they went down to the Snapper in San Diego, and they lost by 16. Didn't see that coming. I thought it would be a lot closer of a game. And then they headed out to Logan, Utah to take on Utah State. Lost a close one by 4. Then they beat the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And then the bowl game, the Idaho Potato Bowl, Eastern Michigan got the best of them. 7-5 season for Sparty. But, man, they were very close to being, how many one-score games there? 3 losses by one-score games. So very close to being a 10-2 football team. And by the way, their wins, they only had 2 one-score wins. That was Portland State and Nevada. Didn't make a lot of sense. Like to clearly probably looking past them, perhaps because they're 2 of the worst teams on their schedule. Either way, I think that's a good season, and I think they can build on that. Let's talk about the transfer portal here. It plays such a huge role in college football in 2023. And San Jose State can really be one that can benefit. Or, sometimes the group of 5s get plucked. You saw, take a look at Fresno State. Evan Williams, all Mountain West safety now at Oregon. Kelly, their wideout, heads out to Washington State. They're starting defensive lineman heads to the Buffaloes, Colorado. So, I mean, it's a perfect example. The corner goes to SMU. And so sometimes you get rated, but you have to stay going. So looking at Fresno, they went out and got Mikey Keene from UCF. I know this isn't a Fresno pod, but my point is, it's just you gotta stay aggressive because some of your guys are gonna get stolen. And let's talk about what left San Jose first. They went out and they got Isaiah Ifanse, who was a running back from Montana State. You thought, oh, what a great get, but come swooping in is the Cal Golden Bears, and Ifanse ends up with the Cal Golden Bears, so they don't end up getting the Montana State Bobcat, former Montana State Bobcat running back. Running back Keon Sims headed out in the portal. He hasn't landed anywhere yet, according to 24/7 Sports. Cornerback Ryan Nixon as well. Wide receiver Jermaine Braddock headed out to Portland State. Hey, Portland State got to scout him a year ago and said, hey, let me go join the Vikings in the Big Sky. Wide receiver Terrence LaVille in the portal, didn't land anywhere. Cornerback Mikhail Greer landed at the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona and Flagstaff. Not a huge loss, but this one is huge. Isaiah Hamilton, stud wide receiver. If you've watched him the past couple of years, very good. He ends up at Washington State. Washington State, once again, they grab Kelly from Fresno, Hamilton from San Jose State. So this is a perfect example. They're doing a great job there in the portal. That's a tough loss for Sparty. Defensive lineman Grady Manley. No, I don't believe there's any relation to Dexter Manley, former Washington Redskin defensive lineman. He's in the portal, hasn't landed anywhere. Giovanni Harper at the safety spot heads out. He landed at Texas Southern in the FCS. Folks, subscribe to the FCS Gambling Podcast. I'm sorry, not the FCS. The FCS College Football Experience, because I host that show. Maybe some people are listening that are Cal Poly Mustang fans, or UC Davis or Sac State. Maybe even the Toreros of San Diego. We got you covered there at the FCS College Football Experience. Subscribe. But that's what they lost. You know what? I actually think that's not bad. I mean, Ifanse, you thought was going to be a nice piece to add some depth in the running back room. He wasn't going to start, I don't think. So, yeah, you thought you were going to get him. Didn't work out. But the rest go to like some FCS. Isaiah Hamilton's the big loss. That's the big loss. Circle that. But considering, I think they did a great job keeping players in San Jose. Now, incoming, they went out and they landed Quali, Conley, a running back from Utah Tech in the FCS. They also got Cal Poly, cornerback Javion Cole coming in. A couple FCS transfers. How about this one? 4-star transfer in the portal. Cornerback DJ Harvey coming in from Virginia Tech, the Hokies. It's a nice get for Brent Brennan. And then you got to love this one. Another 4-star transfer get, according to 24/7 Sports. Quarterback Jay Butterfield from Oregon. Now, I know you have Chevan Cordeiro, but depth, you never know. Cordeiro gets out. He uses his legs a lot. You never know. I'm not wishing injury on the guy. If anything, when I got a chance to interview him, like one of my favorite players in college football, probably. But quarterback depth, and if you're thinking about tomorrow, he could be your next guy down the road here. They also brought in kicker Kyle Halverson from the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Nice get there. Offensive tackle Lakea Kapoy coming in from San Diego State. That one's big because you're hitting your own rival. One of your rivals saying, "Hey, no, we're excited about this guy. We're going to get him." Also, got defensive lineman Caleb Paliki coming in from Missouri State, who was with Bobby Petrino, a.k.a. Road Rash Face, and the Missouri State Bears in the FCS a season ago. All in all, I think they won the portal. Now, I think it's not a large win, but I think the fact, yes, you lose Hamilton, brutal loss. Defonsi was going to add some running back depth, a little bit of a loss. That's it, though, really. You add DJ Harvey, a 4-star transfer. You add Jay Butterfield, a 4-star transfer. You get a kicker in there that might matter, an offensive tackle from San Diego State, and you add some FCS transfers that could work out for you. I mean, look at Florida State last year with Jared Verse. Comes in from Albany. No one heard of this guy. He was arguably the best player on Florida State last season. Some of those FCS transfers really, really work out. Cam Ward at Washington State. So I'm going to say slight win in the portal. The fact they were able to keep a lot of their guys there. But yes. So let's talk about this offense and how it should look in 2023. Because, I think the big thing here, let me rattle off these numbers to you, but I really believe that the offensive line will take the biggest step forward this year. But last season, scoring offense 71st in the nation. Rush offense 122. Circle that, because a couple years ago when they were winning the Mountain West Championship, they were a much better run team. And I think Brent Brennan knows that's a point of emphasis heading into the 2023 season. Circle that. Pass offense a year ago was 25th. Total offense at 83rd for offense coordinator Kevin McGivern. Here's what you love. Chevan Cordeiro's back. And I would even say like the first, and I even talked to him about this. He thought the first month or two was a little bit of growing pains. He thought, yes, there were some similarities with the offense he ran at Hawaii and San Jose State, but just getting to know everybody, the rhythm of knowing, hey, this is my wideout, this is this, you know, there's a rhythm that we all live by. And when you go to a new place, sometimes you have to find your rhythm. So I do think he really could. I mean, he was voted first team for a reason. And this is a guy that he's a gamer. I got a chance to talk to him, and I was telling him how I admire the fact he's a gamer like that. Like, this is a guy that will beat you with his legs as well. And, you know, so he'll take some risky shots. He'll go jump into the end zone for a touchdown or something, whereas a lot of quarterbacks might lay down and slide. He's a gamer, and I enjoy that about him. So he is back. Obviously, that's a huge, huge relief. Love what they have at the running back spot. Now, I get it. You wanted Defonsi because of the depth. He was very good at Montana State, but he wasn't going to beat out Kairee Robinson. Kairee Robinson's a stud. They go out and get Conley now from Utah Tech. He's penciled to be the number 2. They also have Jabari Bates. And by the way, behind Cordeiro is Jay Butterfield. Also Walker Eagert. But you got to love the fact the offense, by the way, bringing back 9 starters, brings back Cordeiro, Robinson, and then I know they lost Hamilton, but Justin Lockhart, who also used to play at Nevada under Jay Norvell, is a very good wide receiver. So they bring back three big-time players. I mean, Lockhart had 767 yards a season ago. He's good. He's good. So those three are back. Your tight end, Dominick Mazotti, is back. You got to like that. Now, they are breaking in some new wideouts that we should keep an eye on here. I think Isaac Jernagin is one they're excited about. Same with Charles Ross. Charles Ross is a guy I think that they've been raving about, that we should definitely circle heading into this season, especially if you're playing, college football, fantasy football, or DFS. They got a couple other guys. I know Nick Nash, the former quarterback, switched over. He's going to be a wideout. He might get some burn that you see there. Brandon Alvarez as well. But the offensive line, let's talk about this, because this is the unit that will take the biggest jump. They return all 8 players who started a game in 2022. Fantastic. Yes. Their whole O-line's back, and even the depth behind that, 3 guys that have gotten starts at San Jose State. Absolutely fantastic, I think, if you're a fan of Sparty. The offense, I think, will be much, much better. Much, much better in 2023, making that projection. And I think they'll be a lot better on the line of scrimmage. So let's talk about the defense, though, because only 5 starters returning on a defense. But, man, they were good a year ago. They were very good a year ago, charting at 29th in scoring defense for Derek Odom, the defense coordinator there. 28th in rush defense, top 30 rush defense, 51st in pass defense, charting at the 32nd best defense in America. And they do take some big hits, some big hits as far as graduation, not in the portal. But you look, and to me, the area we circle is the defensive line. They return 0 starters on the defensive line. But I do think Brennan says he likes his defensive line. I think they're worried a little bit about the depth of the defensive line. So Trey Smith penciled in to be a starter. He had 3 sacks a season ago. Played in 10 games. That's a guy they're counting on. The other end spot, Sayone Toyoa. This is a guy that got 1 start a season ago. He's going to have to step up. The nose guard, Jay Kakavia. Probably butchering your name, Jay, but he started 4 games a season ago. They're going to have to count on these guys. And injuries are going to, this is one you're hoping you stay injury-free for the most part, because I do think the depth is something we should worry about with San Jose State. The linebacking core only returns 1. Oh, I'm sorry, 2. They got Byron Parham back and Elijah Wood. Those 2 give a solid linebacking core. Remember, they do a 3-4 there. Matthew Tago is an Oregon State transfer they're excited about. Also, Jordan Cobbs, other 2 guys penciled in to be a starter. So there's that. The defensive backfield, which will clearly be the strongest suit, I think, on this defense. So Kenyon Reed is back. This is a guy who started 10 games a season ago for Sparty. Trey Jenkins is back. This is a guy who was very good with them last year. He's at the strong safety spot. USC transfer, free safety Chase Williams, was 14 starts, played 4 years at USC. Adding him to the mix, also Alicia Guidry coming in from UCLA. And then we talked about the Virginia Tech transfer coming in DJ Harvey. I really feel good about the secondary, which is good because you have, Tedford loves to throw the rock around. Think about the Mountain West with the exception of a couple schools. Tedford loves to throw the ball around. Your rival, right? Won the Mountain West a year ago. All of a sudden, San Diego State's changing their philosophy. They were a ground and pound. They bring in Ryan Lindley, who was with Mike Leach. They're going air raid in San Diego. So 2 heavy passing teams in California. You look at UNLV. I feel like UNLV kind of a little bit of a balance, but they definitely lean on passing the ball too. Nevada, Ken Wilson, Mike Leach guy, running the air raid, right? 3. Hawaii, Timmy Chang runs the run and shoot. 4 passing teams. Jay Norvell at Colorado State likes to pass. I feel like Utah State, even though they run a little more, they're kind of a finesse team as well. Really, all the teams except for, and Boise was running air raid, but they're back to power football. So I would say the power football teams in the Mountain West are really just Air Force, Wyoming, and Boise State. Maybe you could talk me into New Mexico being a little bit of that, but they're just offensively challenged. So the secondary is going to be key. Really, though, want to circle that defensive line because that's going to be the big X factor. Like I said, the kicker, Halverson comes in from Hawaii. They're excited about that kid. He's penciled in to be a starter. Punter Alex Weir is back. So special teams should be okay. Yeah, I mean, getting 14 starters back. This team looks like a better team to me than a year ago. The only thing that could really, the defense was really good a year ago. Maybe the defense takes a slight step back, but I expect the offense to take a big jump forward. So something to monitor there in San Jose. Look, we're going to talk every game on the schedule, right? Every single game we're going to break down. But, and also Michael Barker's going to join us to talk about Spartan Stadium or what's it, SEFQ Stadium, whatever it is now. But before we do that, I want to tell you, folks out there, that the college football experience, San Jose State Spartans 2023 season preview episode is brought to you by Parlay Play. Yes, Parlay Play is a great way to get down on your favorite parlayed player props. Football season is right around the corner, and Parlay Play will have all of your favorite props. Parlay Play is available in a ton of states, including California, if you're listening to this, and also Texas. I feel like half of California moved to Texas, so, Joe Rogan movement there. Plus our good friends up north, if you're in Canada, all right? Parlay Play is available in a bunch of different provinces in Canada, so check out that. And when you sign up, make sure you use our bonus code to get started. I mean, I've already touched on this. A parlay I like is the over. Speaking of San Jose State, the over in the week 0 matchup with USC, because I think this offense will be able to put up some points on a shaky USC defense. So give me the over. I think it's 63 or 64 is that over. And I also like Rich Rodriguez and Jacksonville State to win their first home game, week 0. It's at a pick against the UTEP Miners. So go out there and check out that. ParlayPlay.io. Use the promo code SGP for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Once again, that's ParlayPlay.io. Promo code SGP. All right. We are back on the college football experience. San Jose State Spartans 2023 season preview. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/thecollegeexperience, you see the win total sitting at 5.5 here. Shout out to Cam Kerr, our graphics guy, doing good work there. I mean, I'm just going to say blindly, without looking at the schedule, I think the over should cash. And I think I feel pretty decent about that because I think the offense is going to be a lot better. But let's get into it. Week 0. Man, they got the schedule does present some challenges to start things off. I just touched on this game. I do like the over on this game. But, yeah, playing the USC Trojans, who are preseason top 10. Not a fun deed to be asked upon your team to go into the Coliseum, one of the classic stadiums in America. Loss 0-1. Am I very excited to watch that game? I am, because even if they lose by 20, if they can put up 30, 35, 28, something like that, it's going to tell us something. You're going to learn. Even in these losses, you'll learn. But hey, I mean, I hope San Jose State makes a game. Fuck, I hope they beat them. Week 2, though, on a Sunday, Labor Day weekend, they host the Oregon State Beavers, who I'm really high on, and I'm really sad to see what's happening in Corvallis with all the conference realignment stuff. And maybe this is a future Mountain West game. But either way, I think Jonathan Smith and Oregon State are going to be a very good team this year. Now it's at San Jose State, which is a little tricky. When the Power 5 teams have to go to the Group of 5, it's always a little harder. But I mean, Oregon State was a 10-win team a season ago. I'm very bullish on them this year as well. It's tricky a little bit that it's on the road, but I think 0-2 is a realistic, very realistic possibility for the San Jose State Spartans here. But now comes in Cal Poly on September 9th. This is interesting because Damon Hjord, former Washington Huskies quarterback, I believe, that's his son, 5-star, from signed on to go to Washington. And then obviously Penix is having such a good year. He bounces to Cal Poly, Mustangs. Got a 5-star quarterback. So the secondary might get tested a little bit, but I do think the toughness of San Jose State and the fact that I think they'll have opportunities to run through the Mustangs. So I got them at 1-2 there. And this is a big one here at the Glass Bowl, September 16th, taking on the MAC champs, the Toledo Rockets. The good thing is you get it, you go to Toledo before it gets really cold, if you're a San Jose State fan. But this is a winnable game. It's a 50-50 game. Toledo won the MAC a year ago. It wouldn't shock me if they won it, but I think if you had to set a line, you'd probably say Toledo -3 because Toledo returns a ton. Toledo's always been talented. I feel like even since like 80s, I feel like the early 90s. So let's just say that's a loss, even though I think that's a winnable game for San Jose State. That would put them at 1-3, and then on a Friday, short week, Air Force comes into San Jose, California. Now Troy Calhoun, one of the best coaches in America, if you ask me, but the NCAA rule changes, the ridiculous NCAA rule changes, might I add, about the cut blocking with the option teams, has Air Force doing a lot of stuff out of the gun. And all the service academies, really. That makes them kind of a mystery team to me. They also, besides the fact they lost to Zeke Daniels and Brad Roberts and a couple of key defensive players, I got to take San Jose State here. I think they're in a better spot, especially in September. Now, if this game was in November, you might think a little differently. So I'll have them at 2-3 heading into their bye week on September 30th. And folks, remember, they get 2 bye weeks. That's the benefit of playing that week 0 game. Now, October 7th, they head up to Boise, Idaho to take on the Broncos. This is tough. I mean, Boise, I wish I had this stat ready for you. When we did their preview, I want to say they've only lost like 11 times or 10 times on the Smurf turf since like 1998. Absolutely ridiculous record. We have to favor Boise there. Do I think this could be a game? Taylon Green is the star quarterback of Boise State, but one of the things I don't know that I trust yet is his arm. So if the defensive line can be intact for San Jose State and they can force him to pass the ball, I think that's the blueprint on how to beat him, even though the guy is clearly a talent that college football should be watching. I got to favor Boise. But I think this should be a game. It has me super fucking excited to watch that game. It's back-to-back away. They head down to University Stadium in Albuquerque. You know, and New Mexico did it. They hired Brian Vincent. Brian Vincent, the former UAB interim head coach from a year ago. And he went out and got Dylan Hopkins, you know, his former quarterback at UAB. New Mexico is going to be a little bit better offensively. Now, they lose Rocky Long on defense, but they're still running a Rocky Long defense, essentially. Danny Gonzalez played for Rocky Long back in the 90s. So I do think New Mexico could be a little bit better, and maybe this game's a little cold, but I think San Jose State should get that one, which would then put them at what? That would put them at 3-4. 3-4. Remember the win total sitting at 5.5. Then they host Utah State, the Aggies. Cooper Lagasse, the new starting quarterback. He came in midway through the season a year ago for Blake Anderson's bunch. But look, I think San Jose State's better than Utah State right now. Utah State got pretty hit in the portal. I do think Blake Anderson's a good coach. They beat San Jose State a year ago. I don't see it happening this year. I will call for San Jose State to get their 4th win of the season right there. So 4-4 heading into October 28th. They head to the island. Brent Brennan, member related to Colt Brennan. May he rest easy in paradise, because obviously got a strong connection to the islands there. Timmy Chang, though, I thought did great in year one. People say 3-10. If you don't follow the game closely, you don't realize that team did not have a lot of talent on that team. And throughout the year, that's a testament to a great coach. You watch the development. So I thought they got a lot better. And I think Hawaii's certainly capable. So it's a far trip on the island. And wait, where's my song here? Where is my song? Anyway, I do think I favor San Jose State here, especially that you have the Chevan Cordeiro thing. His former team, he's from Hawaii. So, I mean, give me San Jose State. But watch out because but I am calling for their 5th win of the season, which once again, folks, then they get their second bye on November 4th, and then comes the final 3-game stretch. So once again, you're sitting there at 5 wins. They have 3 opportunities to get to 6. And 2 of the 3 are home games, and the one road game is really not a road game because no one goes to those games in Vegas because they don't play at Sam Boyd for some stupid fucking reason. But and that's with us saying the Toledo game is a loss. I think the Toledo game is winnable. So home to Fresno State, November 11th. This game, obviously a 1-score game a season ago, but Jake Haener gone. A lot of those skill positions. I touched on this. Evan Williams, all Mountain West safety, gone. It's with the Oregon Ducks. Josh Kelly off to Wazoo. Now Fresno's always talented. Tedford, I think, is one of the best coaches in America. It's going to be a game. But I'll be honest. I think it's like a field goal game. And Mikey Keene's coming in from UCF. I think I would give a slight lean to Fresno. But this is anyone's game. So let's say they lose that. Let's say they're sitting there 5-5. 5-5. But obviously, man, they can beat pretty much anyone on the schedule within the conference. So I know the Smurf Turf's tough. Fresno's always tough. They're now home to San Diego State on November 18th. I'm going to say this. I really believe they're going to get one of the 2. So I got them at 6 wins right there. It's possible they beat both of them. San Diego State, I'm not necessarily sold on this move to the air raid. And I have my concerns about their personnel on offense. So I favor San Jose State to beat San Diego State. So that would put them at win 6, and then they head to Allegiant Stadium, this terrible, terrible place to see a football game. The stadium sucks. The stadium has no business in college football, in my opinion. Sam Boyd's right there. It's a fantastic stadium, but this stadium, UNLV burns their own home field advantage. If this was at Sam Boyd, where it could potentially be cold also, and the fact that it's on campus, that it used to be on, Sam Boyd's on campus, so like you would have your college kids there. No, at Allegiant, no one goes to these games. This is a win for San Jose State. I got them 7-5, and I'll be honest, I feel very good about this over. I feel like this is lockable. I think they're certainly capable of winning more. Wouldn't surprise me if they won against Toledo. Wouldn't surprise me if they won against Fresno. Now, maybe to play that the other way, you could say, well, maybe Air Force clips them. Maybe Utah State clips them. Regardless, I doubt they lose every single 50-50 game. This team's more experienced offensively. They're skill position players. I think you can argue right there with the best in the conference. Cordeiro, Robinson. The ground game should be very good with them. And then Lockhart, I think the wideout room is pretty damn good too. So I will be on the over, and I think you might hear me drop this on an episode in August. But let's take the over all day, folks. Before we get out of here, I want to tell you that, and I actually think at 7-5, you got to start worrying. If you go 7, let me quickly pull that up. I want to pull that up really quick. That I don't think it's a crazy shot or a crazy idea to take San Jose State for the Mountain West Championship. All right. So get on there over there, check it out. I'm trying to pull up the odds right now. But they're certainly capable. Now I'm fascinated. I love the Mountain West. I'm fascinated to watch it. Obviously, Fresno and Boise, always the odds-on favorite to start, right? And rightfully so. They're always really good, all right? But I think this year's going to be a lot of fun in the Mountain West because I think San Jose State has a championship caliber team. You can never rule out San Diego State. I just said, well, the air raid, I've been wrong before. We know they're defensively talented every fucking year. I think Hawaii is going to be playing better. And I don't think Hawaii is a contender, but I think that road game gets a little trickier now. Timmy Chang year 2. Don't really know what to expect other than Nevada schools, but I can tell you this. I think Jay Norvell and Colorado State take a big step forward this year. And that's going to be, they could be a sleeper. Wyoming. When I interviewed Craig Bowl, I was really, really impressed. Or I was really taken back, I should say, with his confidence on the fact that this is his best team at Wyoming. He thinks he can contend. You add all those things up, and shit, Utah State won the Mountain West 2 years ago. Watch out. I mean, Air Force wins like 10 games every year. It's going to be fun at the top. But conference winner. Remember, no more divisions in the Mountain West. The Mountain West, so San Jose State sitting there at plus 1,400, folks. What are you doing? Sprinkle a little bit. Sprinkle a little. $50, $100, something like that. Let's go. Folks, look, I'm on the over. I feel very good about it. And I want to tell you, before we get out of here, that I had a chance to sit down with Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour, to talk about his experiences to San Jose, California, to check out Spartan Stadium or whatever they call it now. So here's that interview. Joining me on the College Football Experience, San Jose State Spartans 2023 season preview episode is none other than Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour. Folks, you might be wondering, what is that? Well, just go over to Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it now and go and follow the account at CFB Campus Tour, and you will see a guy that travels to every single college football game. I mean, I'm being sarcastic, but not really, because he's been to every single FBS football stadium, all 133 of them, and he's been to most of the FCS, D2, D3. He documents all of his travels. That's the only thing he does on his account is talk stadiums. He's not going to be talking about the new Mountain Dew flavor or some shit like that. It is a must follow because he documents the history of the stadium, the history, the photo of the game showing the game he's at. And like I said, he hits like 5, 6, 7 games a week. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show to talk about CFQ Stadium, I think they call it now. I'm going to call it Spartan Stadium because it was Spartan Stadium for so long. But how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. And yeah, it was Spartan Stadium for most of its life, but recently, it's hard to turn down the money apparently. So now it's CFQ Stadium.
CFQ Stadium, whatever they want to say. It's Spartan Stadium on the College Football Experience. All right. Look, tell me about the history of the stadium, man.
So this is the oldest stadium in the Mountain West. It opened in 1933. The original capacity was 4,000. It is now at 30,000 seats. As you said, it was Spartan Stadium officially from 1933 to 2015. And over the last few years, it's gone through some big changes. They removed the roadside bleachers. There was a mound and these bleachers were into the hill. They completely ripped out the bleachers. They ripped out the hill. So for about 4 seasons, there's been no roadside bleachers. But the last 2 years, there's been a 55,000 square foot athletic center project underway, $57 million. And, if you've been following the progress on Twitter, it just finished. And they have a week 1 opener against Oregon State. And so instead of having a dirt sideline, they're finally going to have a big $57 million building there to kind of, give the stadium a little bit more character. And obviously the improvements there are intended to attract more recruits and offer some modern amenities to San Jose State football players.
Hey, man. I mean, look, that it looks cool. I like the trees I see in the background. Do a little Google image action. You see some fun stuff there. How many times have you been to Spartan Stadium? So
I live 35 miles from here. So I've been there lots of times. I've been there for 3 games, 2017, 2019, and 2021. The most notable one for me was 2017. It was the first game that I ever did kind of before I knew that I was touring. In the summer of 2020 or 2017, I traveled around the country and just visited stadiums, and it kind of sparked my interest in attending games. And so there was a week 0 opener against USF. At the time, USF was ranked number 21 in the preseason polls. They ended up beating San Jose State 42-22. In the first year, I went to 13 games, and then the next year 30, the next year 50, and it just kind of ballooned from there. But this was, for me, notable, A, because it's very close to where I live, and B, it was the first game officially of college football campus tour. And they have a Sunday night game, the opening week of the season, week 1, not week 0. And they have a big Power 5 opponent, Oregon State, coming in, and I'm going to be going to that. So 4 is the most that I have at any stadium, and so they'll become tied with Coastal Carolina, Troy, and App State for 4 apiece.
There we go. Yeah, I was thinking about going to that game. I don't know, maybe. Last second call for Dundee here, but yeah, man, it looks like a cool stadium. I like the trees in the background. It gives it a little personality, a little zing. So yeah, I mean, maybe someday I'll join you. Maybe it'll be that Sunday. Appreciate you hopping on the show, Michael. And, I look forward to, perhaps if I get up there, knowing that you live so close, I'll make sure to hit you up and say, come down to Spartan Stadium. Let's watch, Chevan Cordeiro and these Spartans go. Appreciate you hopping on the show, man.
Yeah, if you do come, I need a ride from the airport. I'm flying in at 9:30 a.m. from Texas. And I need a ride to the stadium, and then I'm flying out that night for a red eye, go back to Raleigh-Durham. So if you come, please pick me up. It will save the Uber charges, and lunch is on me if you do it.
So, folks, did you hear that? Look, and if I do go, I will gladly do that. But he was saying, so where are you flying in from?
So Dallas-Fort Worth, I'm going on Saturday to noon, TCU, Colorado, 6 p.m., Texas State at Baylor. Then I'm going to catch a 7:30 flight flying to San Jose, 9:30. The San Jose State Oregon State game is at 12:30. And then I'm taking a 10:45 flight, red eye, back to Raleigh-Durham because Duke is playing Clemson at 7 p.m. and you can't leave San Jose at 6 a.m. and make it to Raleigh-Durham. So I'm going to be at my hometown, but I don't even think I'm going to stop at my house. So if you want to help me out and you make the trip, you'll have an appreciated college football traveler to accompany you.
Oh my gosh. I mean, folks, did you hear what he just said? I feel like I don't even need to say, give him a follow. That should be that type of travel. Even the Rolling Stones were doing that shit in the 60s. All right. In their primes. I mean, unbelievable. Folks, make sure you give him a follow at CFB Campus Tour. I just feel like right there, I rest my case, Vincent Gambino style. But dude, I appreciate you hopping on the show, man. And look, if I make that pilgrimage up to San Jose, I will make sure I pick you up and drop you off at the airport there, man. Appreciate you hopping on the show, Michael.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. And even if you don't, we're still cool. So don't worry about it.
Right on, man. Take care. Michael Barker. I got to get up to Spartan Stadium. Look, that stadium, fantastic. I think one of the things we have to do, college football fans, you get this push to turn the Power 5 into, with Oregon State getting cut, Washington State, who knows what's happening with Stanford and Cal and those schools. But, USC and the Big Ten, all this stuff, college football fans, we got to push back. I feel like we should make a stronger point of emphasis on watching and dedicating our time to the group of 5 and FCS, because I think that's more aligned with the blueprint of college football that we fell in love with. And I look forward to doing that with Oregon State. Folks, check them out. I'm on the over. I like it a lot. I'm going to say I think it's a lock. So let's go. Give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. That is the College Football Experience account, I should say. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Give me a follow there. And folks, remember, subscribe to the College Football Experience wherever podcasts can be found. Please hop on over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that. Only takes a minute or two out of your day. Also, if you can, subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. And look, that's the hub for all of our college platforms. College Basketball Experience. Tim Miles doing great things in San Jose. Excited about the season. Every single night of the college basketball season, I'll be here talking hoops. College Football Experience, the FCS College Football Experience, the College Baseball Experience. We even got the Big 12 Experience. They come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. Folks, also get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. And go check out, we just had Phil Steele on the show. Just dropped an episode with Randy Cross, former San Francisco 49er, Super Bowl champ. Go check out those episodes. And look, we're breaking down all 133 teams. So check out the next one. All right. This is the college football experience, San Jose State style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.